Hey, welcome into the Snap Week 17, your championship week. Hopefully your championship week is finally here. Having no Thursday games really made the week feel long, but it's finally Sunday. We got a full slate of games. We will be crowning fantasy football champions tomorrow night. And Landon and I are here for the final time this season to get you right. Every single start-sit question is going to be answered today. We've kept that streak alive for 16 weeks, and we don't plan on dropping a week here. Lando, what's going on?
Mac, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Welcome to Championship Week. Shout out to some Snap Army members. Thundarius in the chat already. We will be doing. Are we doing the draw today, Mac?
Doing the draw today for the Dalvin Cook signed jersey as well as the Clyde Edwards-Helaire signed jersey. Those will be going out to some lucky winners. We've been promoting this. So if you don't know how to get into the contest, unfortunately too late. But there will be tons of giveaways next year, so stay tuned.
If you want to give us a shout out and help the show, you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts. We do have tips on, so if you did enjoy every single week coming by the live stream, you can give us a little shout out, especially if you need priority questions answered. If it's a must answer, you want more details, a tip or a show of support.
Always appreciated, but not necessary. We'll say that. Appreciated, but not necessary.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right.
So
yeah.
Go ahead, Mac.
Might as well get to the ins and outs. That's sort of where we're going to be focusing our attention here for the next 5 or so minutes. Some big ones you wanted to talk about? Anybody notable, or are you just kind of wanting to go through the list?
I think the one notable player is going to be Trey Lance. What to do with this quarterback? We talked about him a little bit on the Thursday show. We went live on Thursday, then we released that show as a podcast. What do you do with Trey Lance? He's got week winning upside, but it just seems like it's hard to trust a rookie quarterback that hasn't played all year, Mac. Thundarius had a great question, so we might as well kind of start with that. Do I pick up Trey Lance and bench Russell Wilson in the championship finals? He's got a bunch of Niners playing for him. He's got Ayuk, Debo, and Kittle. Do you just do the big quad stack and go with Trey Lance as well?
It's certainly the big upside play. The one thing I love about Trey Lance is his ability to run. And so Russell, we haven't seen be overly mobile since his return. And if you're talking about larger fantasy game, I think that lies in Trey Lance. He's also playing the Houston Texans, which isn't really a rollover and die type of matchup. We saw the Texans have a little bit of juice, but I like Trey Lance's upside. I think he's got a good arm. I think he can be mobile. I think the Niners win today to keep. They need to win. Like they need to keep their playoff hopes alive. So I'm gonna go with Trey Lance. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean our rankings say that Russell Wilson is my 11th ranked quarterback, but with Kirk Cousins out, I absolutely think that Trey Lance should be and could be considered at number 12 with the upside play. So he's got a floor because of his legs, and then he has the upside because he has so many weapons at his disposal. Now, Thunders, I would not start the gamut of Niners. I would stick with the two studs with Debo and Kittle. I know you already have your lineup set up, but sitting down Ayuk is kind of where I would lean here. You're hoping for a touchdown out of him. We saw that he's able to do that, but you need to hedge a little bit and start some other players, especially if you're going with the tri-stack with Lance,
the one thing
Debo,
that our rankings
Kittle
don't take into account, and this is why you come by the live stream every single Sunday to get the latest, most up-to-date news and perspective, there is a good chance of rain today in Seattle. There's an increasingly likely chance that there is wind and higher winds, gusts up around 20 miles per hour. So Detroit at Seattle, there's going to be some weather. And so I temper expectations just a little bit. There's also Miami and Tennessee. There's going to be some rain. Maybe we see a mix of snow in there as well, which doesn't – it's more so for the kickers, but you could see that game get a little bit messy. And then Green Bay is colder than expected. We had said on Thursday when we did our live show that it was going to be about minus 10 Celsius, which is about 14 Fahrenheit. Now it's looking like it's going to be about 5 degrees Fahrenheit by kickoff. So definitely colder than expected. I don't have any issues for the Green Bay Packers side of the football, but you could look to Minnesota with a backup quarterback and say this might be a ground-heavy game for them.
Shout out to Snap Army members, Darren and Griffin and Chris in the chat. As always, we appreciate y'all. Help support the show. Help us do this every single week. The next guy I want to talk about is Elijah Mitchell, Mac. His first game back. I know we're kind of staying with the San Francisco narrative here. Are you ready to lock and load and play Elijah Mitchell coming back off this injury? Or does it just mean hands off for that backfield with Jeff Wilson included? Just don't play any
I'm
Niner.
Playing him.
Running back.
We got a question on Twitter today. Said, "Are you playing Elijah Mitchell over Michael Carter?" I mean, yes, I absolutely am. Michael Carter, I think, will have a big workload, but he's going to go up against the Tampa Bay Bucks. So, yes, he'll get volume. How much he's able to do with it, his efficiency, I don't know. But I do feel good in Elijah Mitchell. Every single time he's had an opportunity and come back from a variety of injuries, he's been good. And Jeff Wilson has been relegated to second-team work. I don't see Jeff Wilson being the primary ball carrier. So I will play Elijah Mitchell, absolutely.
Is there anyone else that's expected to play that changes and like with Mike Evans and Antonio Brown, they were both Antonio Brown was questionable this week with a knee or an ankle, something along those lines, and then Mike Evans back. Are you throwing Mike Evans right back in your lineup?
Mike Evans is expected to play, but he'll probably be somewhat limited, and they probably won't need him to beat the Jets. Let's be honest. Yeah. This might be the ground and pound heavy defensive game for the Bucks. So I will play Mike Evans, but I'll draw the line in the sand somewhere as to where I would pivot. Because I don't expect a whole lot. But we've seen from Mike Evans, all he needs is 2 passes for 2 yards and 2 touchdowns. And yes, that is a stat line that Mike Evans has had before. So he doesn't need a lot to make a lot. Let's just say that. Carson Wentz, I think, is one name that we need to bring up. He did clear protocols. So he didn't get a negative test. He's still technically positive for COVID, but he's been asymptomatic. He has been cleared by a third-party doctor and will play today. So that's really good news for the Colts that, desperately need to win to keep a strong position in the AFC playoff race. That's one name that I thought we should definitely bring up.
Yep, I like that. Anything else before we keep moving on? Kirk Cousins, I know I saw a Justin Jefferson question already come in. We'll get to Dave here. What do you do with the Minnesota Vikings here? Do you temper expectations for Justin Jefferson? He was our wide receiver 4 going into the week, thinking that Kirk Cousins was going to play. Where should Jefferson fall now with a Mannion backup?
You can't sit Justin Jefferson. I don't care if you or I were throwing the football to him. You still need to start Justin Jefferson because he's just that good. Yes, I'm a little bit hesitant with the weather, with the primetime matchup at Lambeau Field. It's Sean Mannion. He's an unknown. We haven't seen him before. There's a lot to go up in the air. But one thing we do know about backup quarterbacks is when they come in the game, they tend to hyper target one player. And that player is going to be Justin Jefferson. So I'm okay with Justin Jefferson. I do have him probably faded a little bit, but I'm not, unless I'm playing in like a 6-team league, I'm going to be starting him.
So Dave, I can't wait to get to your question because that's going to be one of Mac's hardest questions of the day. So we will get to that a little bit later on, but we do need to get to our Snap Army members first because they give us the support every single week. And that's just how things go around
please, here. If you haven't already, give a like to the video. Really helps out the channel. Help us finish strong on a really wild and crazy 2021 season. All right, let's get into the names in green.
Now, is this a subscriber only show, Mac? I just want to. Okay, perfect. So thanks for subscribing to the show. Appreciate y'all. We will answer every single question.
Let's go through. Today. We got a lot today. Let's go through and try to keep it short and sweet. Green names first. We already got Thundarius with Lance and Russell, as well as Ayuk and Mitchell. No, we didn't do that one. So Damian Harris over Ayuk and Mitchell. I would be playing Damian Harris, yes, over the two of them.
Yep, I'm good with that, especially with all your Niners hedging a little bit, going with Harris in a plus matchup.
In the words of
Is in a good spot.
Nacho Libre, I want to win. Chris Timmons, let's go. Championship week is upon us. Good morning. Good luck. Darren Koch, Marvin Jones, or Westbrook Akine? Simple. Marvin Jones, I think, is the play.
I think it has to be too. I just don't. That's a really tough matchup. I know you're in a super deep league, Darren, and having those that kind of decision is tough. But I would agree with Marvin Jones. Go with the
Shout out to
veteran.
Griff flexing his 5-month membership from the Snap Army. Good morning to everyone. Let's get these chips. Massive shout out to Snap Men for pumping out massive fantasy content all season. Wouldn't be here without you, Griff. So thank you, my man. Speaking of Griff, here's his question. Traveling back home today feels like 29 Fahrenheit. Is 29 Fahrenheit feels like 14. It's way too damn cold for this. For Texan? Oh, for you. You are a Texan. Yes, I know it's cold. Man, I would love to have 29 Fahrenheit. It's like 5 Fahrenheit here right now. What's it for you, Landon?
Yeah.
Landon is currently
today?
6 hours north of Minnesota. Minneapolis, we should say.
Let me find out exactly how cold, because it's about minus 10 Fahrenheit right now.
It's not warm. Yep. Okay, no. Let's jump back up to the chat. That is all the green names. We will come back to them as they filter in. Richie, need one in a full PPR. St. Brown. I'm going to assume that's Amon-Ra and not Equanimous.
Amon-Ra, yeah.
Van Jefferson, Mike Williams, DJ Moore, or Alan Lazard. Only needing one.
Oh.
Okay.
It's hard, Kate. It's hard to get off the St. Brown train because he's been so good. You're probably in the finals because of him, especially with Mike Williams out last week. I think Lazard scored a touchdown last week, if I'm not mistaken, Mac. But DJ Moore is that big name of the group that just you feel like you have to start, but it's a bad matchup. And
Sam Darnold difficult. Is back. I don't know what we think about that. But
yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good.
So St. Brown, yes, he's been great. He's got Tim Boyle again this week. And there's going to be rain in that game. So we have to take that into consideration. Van Jefferson is very interesting against a really soft Baltimore team who we saw get carved last week by the Bengals. And then we got Mike Williams coming back. For me, personally, honestly, Van Jefferson and Alan Lazard are out of consideration. It's really between St. Brown, Mike Williams, DJ Moore.
Okay. So I think now you mentioned about the rain in Seattle. So we have Amon-Ra ranked higher than DJ Moore, surprisingly, this week. That was before the weather came in. So I think I would just trust my stud with.
Okay. I think I rank them DJ Moore, Mike Williams, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yep.
Okay. So I'm good with DJ. Is it a dome game for the Chargers?
The Chargers, sorry, I got to check who they play today.
It's a dome game. They're playing in
nice.
LA. That's nice. That's
Chargers.
Really nice. Get rid of the weather if you can. I kind of don't mind going with Mike Williams.
Even in Tennessee, there's going to be a mixture of rain and snow. Like we might see some sleet there today. So it's not. There's a lot of weather we got to take into consideration. Let's go. Yeah.
Dome games. So I just want to mention, so the dome games are the Raiders, Colts. We've got the Panthers, Saints. Okay, so the Panthers are in a dome too. So okay, DJ Moore it is then for me. And then Chargers, Broncos, beautiful. And that's it for dome
Okay,
games.
We've got Seth Veek. Oh, no, we have a super chat we need to get down to. Derek Leacott, thank you.
Derek.
Slight underdog in the fantasy championship, half PPR. Quarterback, we've got Carr or Mac Jones. Lost Kirk Cousins, so did we in the Listener League final against Dynasty Nate. Flex, Ayuk or Van Jefferson. Opponent has OBJ. And then tight end, we've got Freiermuth or Hunter Henry. Ooh, boy. Okay.
Oh, man.
Let's go to the quarterback first. Carr or Mac Jones?
So Mac Jones seems like he's in a really great spot against Jacksonville. But we do have that dome game for Derek Carr against Indy, but I'm going to
start Mac Jones, to be honest with you. Really soft matchup. Has a good record against other rookie quarterbacks this year. Has been getting the best of them. And I think he's just the safer of the two. Yeah, like the Colts are legit on both sides of the ball. Yes, they could get into like a negative game script where it's good to throw the football, but I'm just going to go with the efficient Mac Jones.
Yeah, so that's the only difficult part with the New England-Jacksonville game. We want Jacksonville to score in that game to force Mac Jones to keep passing the football. But again, New England needs to score to get up, and we just hope it's going to be through the air, Hunter Henry. So if you do start Mac Jones, I would also lean Hunter Henry. Get that stacked. They seem to look for Hunter Henry in the red zone a lot. He's likely he could easily get 1 or 2 touchdowns. So I would go both Mac and Hunter Henry. And just Muth coming back of a concussion, it's a little bit sketchy. He's a better player at this point of his career, but I like the stack with Mac.
I do as well. Absolutely. Mace 1. Thank you so much for the tip there, man. $20. Appreciate that. He said thanks for all the help this year. We thank you for coming by and supporting the show. Really, really appreciate that. For the flex, Ayuk or Van Jefferson. Opponent has Odell Beckham. I don't think it really matters. It's not like it's a quarterback where Matthew Stafford will be delivering the ball to Van Jefferson. If your quarterback had Stafford, it might be nice to play Van Jefferson to neutralize the position. However, it doesn't matter if it's the opposing complementary option. So, Ayuk or Van Jefferson, this one's really tight for me. I probably lean Van Jefferson.
I think I do too. I think that's where I would go. Van always has the potential for a big play. I do kind of like it. I know you mentioned the opponent has OBJ. It just feels like salt in the wound if Van scores and OBJ doesn't, but it's not really, like Max said, it doesn't really matter. But I kind of like Van. You get out of the issue with Trey Lance starting at quarterback.
Exactly.
We don't know how much they're going to pass the football. Probably not a lot. So you're going to rely on a lot of efficiency. That one touchdown, like what happened last week. So I would say Van or Ayuk over under 3.5 receptions. Yeah.
I think you're looking for a big play from Ayuk, and I just don't know if it happens. But I do feel good in saying Van Jefferson probably gets some volume in. I mean, Baltimore just got carved last week by Cincy. They have practice players in their secondary. I'm good with those guys.
So Mace 1, thank you again so much for giving us a super chat. You are in the championship in your league. Do I pull Justin Jefferson for Gallup or Lazard? PPR league starting Cooks as your other wide receiver.
Gotta play him.
Yep. You got to play Justin Jefferson. I would not pull. I know it's the only situation is Gallup could be in a bit of a shootout in a good weather game. I would definitely not start Lazard for sure. Not the only closer one is Gallup, but we know that Amari and CD are the number ones when Justin Jefferson is the one and only for the Vikings. So I would stick with your studs. Stick with Justin Jefferson. They're going to manufacture touches for Jefferson regardless who's at quarterback. It's no secret how good he is, and Mannion knows how good Justin Jefferson is as well. So it's going to be the Dalvin Cook Jefferson show. They always play the Packers tough. I know it's going to be a cold game, but I think Jefferson is still that big play upside. They should be from behind most of the game. Start Jefferson with confidence, Mace 1. Appreciate very much. You're welcome for all the help all year. Thanks for everyone coming by throughout the entire season. 18 people watching. We know your championship matters. We will get to every single question today.
Seth Veek,
thank you, sir.
Which kicker should I start this week? Harrison Butker against Cincinnati, Nick Folk against Jacksonville, or Jake Elliott against Washington. So I think Butker against the Bengals is out because of the weather. It's going to be cold and windy in Cincinnati. Game feels like freezing. So you're going to want to get away from Butker against Cincy. Folk versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville looks like a good game. I would probably lean Folk as my option there. Jake Elliott against Washington. Jake Elliott's been so hit and miss. I'm probably just going to go with Folk.
Yeah, I kind of like Elliott just because I think he's the best kicker of the bunch. The weather's okay. Yep. 61 Fahrenheit, overcast, good. Folk is just a 38-year-old kicker. I thought about picking him up too. So I think I lean Elliott.
Honestly, I think that I think probably the Patriots score more, so that's probably why I'm leaning that direction. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't play Butker. I know he's he plays for the Chiefs. He had some fantasy relevance not too long ago, but I'm not gonna play anybody in that game with supreme confidence, especially the kickers. Anthony V. Callaway over Ayuk, Deonta Foreman over Keyshawn Vaughn. Yes, I would play Deonta Foreman over Keyshawn Vaughn. I do expect Ronald Jones to get.
Me too. Anthony.
What do we have Ronald Jones ranked on the week? It's definitely inside the top 10. I want to say 8. Running back 8. We have him
at number 8.
And then we've got Callaway and Ayuk. Yeah. I mean, I'd probably draw the line there. I would play Ayuk over Marquez Callaway.
Yep, we've got a lot of IU questions today, and I agree. I would go with
Wesley
IU
Hall, Trey Lance, or Taysom Hill. Fantasy Super Bowl. This is the championship. I would play Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
I mean, Trey Lance is the beautiful unknown. I mean, we've seen him just a little bit, but it's left a good taste in our mouth for me. I think he's got a really good arm, and he is mobile. Like Taysom Hill is overly mobile, but just lacks the arm talent. I think Trey Lance has both. They do.
Carolina has a good defense as well. I don't want to be going up against the Carolina
Claire,
at this point.
Our girl. Morning. Thanks for helping me get to the championship game in my PPR redraft league. Pick 3 2 running back in a flex. JT, Rojo, Swift, and Sony. Yeah. Okay.
Love that
So
one.
Jonathan Taylor. How do you feel about him this week, Lando?
It's tough for me, I need to see it before I believe it with JT. And so you're starting, Claire, JT and Rojo. Those are the auto starts of the two. Now, your only other question is Swift and Sony. Now, I don't think I want to trust DeAndre Swift. Do you agree with me, Mac?
Look, DeAndre Swift, I have a ton of him. Across my dynasty leagues, I probably own him in every single league, except maybe one. And I play a lot of dynasty football. My season perished because of DeAndre Swift and other players, but mostly because of DeAndre Swift. I just don't want to trust him coming back when it feels like he's not even ready. And why does he need to play in this game? I don't get it. Just hold him out. He's not going to play next week. Just why? I don't know why the Lions are playing him. I don't think he'll get a full workload. I'm going to go JT, Rojo, who I know will get a full workload, and then Sony, who Daryl Henderson is on the IR. Cam Akers is not playing today.
Yeah.
Keep that in your head. Cam Akers is not playing. Sony's the only option. I'm going Sony.
Yep, I love that, Claire. Good luck in your championship. You're one of the best fantasy players I know. I know you'll make the right choice and take home the ship. So thanks for coming in all season long, and good luck.
We've got Dave G. Should I sit Justin Jefferson for Jamar Chase? Yes, you should.
That's the question. I was looking at Dave. Hopefully you're still around. I agree. You're probably in a 14 league if you're making this decision here right now. But either way, go with Jamar Chase over Jefferson. That's where I'm willing to pivot here. Now, I'm shocked that you have two other better wide receivers that you're making this decision over. And that's the start one wide receiver league. Let us know, Dave, who else you have. And
is this Dave Thomas, the Wendy's guy? Shout out, Dave.
Dave Thomas, yeah. Send us some burgers. We need a
junior
sponsor,
bacon.
Dave.
You know what I'm saying? I heard a crazy stat the other day that The Colts are now 9-0 when Jonathan Taylor rushes for minimum 100 yards, and they're 0-6 when he doesn't. So he is literally their key to victory. Yep. Brandon Phillips. I made it to the championship, and now I have one decision to make. I have 2 spots to fill, and I'm deciding between Cordero Patterson, Mike Evans, Gronk, Ronald Jones, A.J. Brown, and Elijah Mitchell. Full PPR. Got to be a shallow league with those names.
So Ronald Jones and A.J. Brown is where I would go.
Cordero Patterson, we've talked about him. Like, if you're in a 12, 14-team league, you've been riding Cordero. You just have to play him, given that the other options are not that good. Mike Evans, I would typically say, is an auto play here, but he's projected to be limited. And Gronk, you're not starting a tight end over someone like A.J. Brown, who went banana land last week. So Rojo for the big workload, and A.J. Brown. I think I agree with Lando.
Yeah, now A.J. Brown had a 70-something% target share. Miami knows that they need to cover him. I could see A.J. Brown being kind of in a letdown spot, but you can't. I don't have. You need to
Even though the weather doesn't look great for that game either, I'm still going to play A.J. Brown. Yep. Okay, and then Dave also says Tyler over Lance. Tyler Huntley, no, you play Trey Lance.
Lance over Huntley. Shout
Crescent
out
Cannon.
to
Happy New Year from
Crescent
Japan.
Cannon.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Wow.
I need 2 running backs and a flex. Whom should I choose? Crescent Cannon, is that A.J. Brown or Antonio Brown? I'm going to assume it's Antonio Brown. Well,
sure.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's Antonio Brown. Ronald Jones, Sony Michel, Aaron Jones. I have Jonathan Taylor. That's beautiful. 2 running back and a flex. So,
okay.
Yeah, it really comes. I think you're playing Aaron Jones no matter what. And then it comes down to Ronald Jones, Sony Michel. I think Sony's been just better.
Good.
Oh, yeah,
Jonathan Taylor.
I think he's already
right?
saying, I'm starting Jonathan Taylor. Yeah.
Okay, I have Jonathan Taylor starting. Okay, so
if that's not the case, then yes, I think it's Jonathan Taylor, it's Aaron Jones, and then I'm probably just going to roll out Sony Michel, to be honest with you.
Over Ronald Jones? No. You're starting Sony Michel over Ronald Jones.
Now you're making me. It is Antonio Brown. Now you're making me second. Here's my thing. In this case, you have Taylor, you have Jones. That's a really, really nice, floor of points. You know that there's going to be a lot of production between the two of them. Why then take a risk with Ronald Jones when you could just play a really safe Sony Michel?
Ronald Jones is by himself in that backfield as well.
But, yes. Sony Michel is truly alone.
Okay. I'm sure they signed someone to equal talent level of Keyshawn Vaughn.
So we agree on Taylor and Jones.
So
I know we have Ronald Jones higher.
We have Ronald Jones ranked ahead of Aaron Jones.
Okay. Taylor Jones. Jones and the Jones. Taylor and the Joneses. There you go.
Taylor and the Jones brothers. Thank you, Crescent, all the way from Japan. Thank you for coming by. We very much appreciate you. We have fans and people that come by all over the world. So
absolutely crazy.
Love that.
War with Lamar out. Do I go Taysom Hill or Tyler Huntley? I'm gonna play Taysom Hill. I don't think you can play Tyler Huntley against the Rams with confidence.
Yeah, that's a tough one. We saw that Taylor Huntley being the number 1 quarterback on the week.
I think there's going to be overreactions to that.
Mm-hmm. And Taysom Hill is in a tough matchup versus Carolina as well. But I think Taysom, man, oh man, I'm
playing Taysom Hill. Yep.
You're playing Taysom Hill. I don't mind it. It's super close to me. I think it's very much a coin flip. I think I would go. I tend to agree with you. Hopefully the game's competitive. It's a dome game, which is great for fantasy points. Taysom Hill. It is.
Nick Ted. Dallas defense or 49ers defense? I'm going to play the Niners defense. I think Dallas I mean, you're gonna need Kyler Murray to turn the ball over. I think this game's just gonna be a shootout. Dome game. Great weather. There's gonna be points put up on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna need turnovers, and I don't know if you're gonna get enough of them. Where 49ers could pitch a shutout. You never know.
Yeah, Houston's been a decent offense lately, not great against the opposing Tennessee defense, but I agree. I think you have more confidence in the Niners D also having turnovers and sacks against Houston and Davis Mills than although Dallas defense has been showing that they're better, you are relying on turnovers rather than points against, because that could be a shootout. It's going to be a high scoring game most likely. Kyler, we know he can turn it on at any point.
Mace 1's okay, beautiful.
Yes, we talked about that
beautiful.
with Jefferson, Gallup, Lazard.
Okay, it is 1 hour until kickoff. Well, 57 minutes until kickoff. I think this is a perfect time to pull our winners. So guys, 20 viewers at the moment. Please go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get that like count up. We are going to draw right here, right now, the winners. What do you want to do first? The Clyde Edwards-Helaire jersey or the Dalvin Cook jersey?
We'll go with the Dalvin Cook.
This is
That's been
the big one.
Those are Snap
Yep. So we've
Army
got the
members.
Dalvin Cook signed jersey from Pristine Auction, JSA certified. This is legit. This is for our Snap Army members, so the members of our YouTube channel. And these guys have been riding with us since August when we launched the platform, and we appreciate it. So I'm going to just change the screen over here, Lando. It's just going to be me on the screen here, and we've got the wheel up. So every single month you were a member, and if you continue to be a member, we will obviously have more things in the future. But good luck. Best of luck to you. We have a variety of names on here, but every single month you were a member, you had an entry in the draw. So we are spinning. And it looks like our winner is Thundarius.
Oh,
congratulations, my guy.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Wow. Awesome. I love that. I didn't know you were going to have the screen.
Absolutely.
Right on the screen.
Right on the screen.
Perfect.
Now we're going to click over. Let me get this out. Clyde Edwards. He's not active today, and that sucks. It really, when we got these prizes, shout out to our guy Brad for sponsoring this. He purchased these for us. When we got this Clyde Edwards-Helaire jersey, we were thinking, man, this could be something spicy this year. It's still a great jersey. I mean, Clyde Edwards is still going to be around for a while. This is for anybody who was willing to jump over to Apple and rate and review the podcast. We only had 4 entries, so we're going to go ahead and give this one a spin. 25% chance for these guys to win, and it's going to go to our boy Griffin. Let's go.
Griff.
Congratulations, fellas, to all of the winners here. Appreciate you guys supporting the show, giving your reviews, and being a member of the show. Yeah.
I was hoping for my boy War on that one, but hey, Griff is a deserving winner.
Absolutely. Thundarius and Griff, 2 of our members. Really, really appreciate you guys. Let's jump back to the questions. I think we were at Hudson. Yes, Hudson, Bonetti. Hey, guys, who would you go with, Freiermuth, Everett, or Foster Moreau? Yeah.
Oh, man. I think I like... So if I'm going to scroll over to the weather here, because that does... it's a good tie break for me. Because I think I lean Foster Moreau because it's in a dome against the Colts, and he's getting more targets now without Darren Waller. No weather to speak of in a dome, so I like Moreau on that one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm good with that. Sorry, I'm just reading some of these. Roger, yeah, good
Roger.
morning. Thanks for another great year of content and your help. You are welcome, Roger. Great to see you back. Just one question today: AB, Chase, or OBJ? It's just got to be Jamar Chase.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, Jamar Chase. It is absolutely. I almost just skipped over his name.
Nah,
For some reason I thought it was Chase Claypool.
If it's Chase Claypool, then I would go probably Odell Beckham.
Okay. All right. I was wondering between Antonio and Odell. So is it the injury of
yeah,
AB
I mean,
that
he
gets you
was
off that?
unsure if he was going to play. They tested it, I believe, yesterday. He was cleared. He's good to go. But, like, that's a really late addition to the game. I know they're playing the Jets, and it could be a really, really good day for him. I think Odell Beckham Jr. is enticing as well against the Baltimore Ravens. So, if it's Jamar Chase, it's Jamar Chase. Gary McCord. Shout out to Gary. Saquon, Jarrett Patterson, or Dare Ogunbowale in a full PPR. Man, look, we're starting Saquon this week. It doesn't feel good, but we're doing it. And I think that's where you just have to go.
If someone wants to make a DFS lineup with all the really talented bad plays this week, Saquon is included with that. DeAndre Swift is included with that. Players that, just feel gross. And I think that it could be a sneaky spot for Saquon to be a kind of that league winner if you've got the will to start him.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm going Saquon still.
So, I like
Eli,
Saquon.
2 in a PPR, Aaron Jones, Eli Mitchell, and Antonio Brown. We also got Dak and Joey. Oh, man. Okay, Dak or Burrow? Let's start there.
After the performance of Joe Burrow last week, I like Dak.
Yeah, the only thing I temper expectations just slightly between the two is that there's going to be some weather in Kansas City. We're going to see about 0, like freezing temperatures, and we're going to see a little bit of wind, like 10 miles an hour. Not enough to affect the football, but maybe enough to affect the deep ball. So I'm going to just go Dak in a dome, really competitive game. I mean, the guy had 300-plus yards and 4 touchdowns in a half of football last week. So we gotta recognize that. Aaron Jones, Eli Mitchell, and Antonio Brown. Aaron Jones for sure is a lock.
For sure, must start. And then I think I kind of like in a full PPR. I don't mind Antonio Brown. Just I know Eli and AB are kind of both coming off slight injuries, and with maybe a limited Mike Evans, AB still could get another 15 targets.
I mean, both are coming back from injury. The matchup is great for both. With Mike Evans limited, it could be really heavy AB day. So yeah, let's go that. Derek Leacutt says, seeing rain 2 for the New England game. I'll give you the full report right now. So we have New England. There's going to be light showers. It might be brief, but it'll be spotty. Tampa Bay and New York Jets, there's also possible showers, but it's unlikely. Then we have pretty much the same news for the Ravens and the Washington game. We've got spotty showers, 1 or 2 is possible. Winds about 10 to 15 miles an hour. No major impacts on fantasy. Same thing with KC and Cincinnati. Temps around freezing, about 10 miles an hour wind. The games that you want to take note of. Atlanta at Buffalo. There's likely going to be snow. Pre-game, there might be some wind too. There is something to be said for passing games in the Atlanta-Buffalo game. Then we have Miami and Tennessee, really, really wet. Expect this one to be wet. It's going to be a mixture of rain and snow. Then we've got Detroit and Seattle, really good chance for rain, higher winds about 15 to 20 miles an hour. And then Minnesota and Green Bay, colder than expected, about 5 degrees Fahrenheit at kickoff. Doesn't look like there should be snow, but definitely going to be cold. That's your full weather report. Beautiful.
Sounds good.
MVS, Devontae Parker or Jacoby Myers. KJ Osborne is available as well in a full PPR from IV Ruin. Marquez Valdes-Scantling is very tempting. We saw him have the big game. He is back in the lineup for the Packers. Jacoby Myers also He's not going to score you a touchdown. He's only done that once in his career, but he's probably going to get volume. I'm not going to play KJ Osborne out of this group just due to Sean Mannion and a really, really cold game at Lambeau. So full PPR, who has the highest volume? Who has the best game out of these guys? MVS, Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers. Okay.
I'm going MVS.
I'm probably between Jacoby and MVS, so I'll just jump on the MVS train with you.
Sounds good. Thunder's a hot take that Casey shuts down Cincy. I don't agree with you. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think both games are going to be
Kansas City
a bit of a shootout. So Thunder's. Yeah, you're on.
Ooh.
I'll bet you that jersey. How about that?
Now, what is shut down?
I would say 10 points and under.
Moreau or Everett, Dallas or Chicago from Johnny B. Good. PPR, you are welcome.
So I already went with Moreau
and
Everett.
Dallas or Chicago. I'm going Chicago. Beautiful.
I'll go Chicago as well.
Griffin, Andy Dalton play the whole game. Underdog has 208.5 over under passing yards. That is very low. Yeah.
I'll go
Jacob,
over,
what's going on? Welcome into the stream. Seth Veek, Dak versus Arizona or Brady against the Jets. Oh boy. I'm probably just going to take Dak. I could see this being a very run-heavy game for the Bucs. Very run-heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be, right? There's no reason for Brady to pass the football unless they get on the goal line. You're hoping for they're on the 9-yard line and then it's a Mike Evans or Gronk kind of dink and dunk.
And then we've
touchdown.
got Chicago defense or Saints defense. It's going to be Chicago.
I like this.
Okay, I would play Chicago.
The Saints actually.
Jacob, Agumbawale, AJ Dillon, Jarrett Patterson.
I like AJ Dillon in a weather cold
I think
game.
he's the most proven of the bunch. Obviously, it's tempting to want to go to Jarrett Patterson with Antonio Gibson out, but I would go AJ Dillon as well.
Yep.
Easy. Good morning. Good afternoon, I guess, and good luck to you in your championships today. Appreciate it. Mac might say JT is the MVP of their team. Oh, some might say yes. Some might say Jonathan Taylor is the MVP of the league. Yeah. Chris Timmons, am I crazy to say Brady versus the Jets for Taysom Hill versus Carolina? Brady could get up huge, and the Jets seed out the fourth quarter. I think you're crazy.
So that's the narrative we were talking about, that it could be like a run-heavy game for the Bucs, just an Rojo kind of game. But I think that would be a crazy move. Tom Brady could also throw for 4 or 5 touchdowns, and that's still in the range of outcomes for Tom Brady. Where Taysom Hill in a tough matchup versus Carolina, you're hoping for probably 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing. That's his upside, in my opinion.
Easy, did you miss the giveaway? We just did it about 10 minutes ago. So,
sorry, Easy.
You did not win, Easy. I'm sorry. Griff and Thunderius were the 2 winners, but you were in the draw. If you want, you can just scroll back the stream. You should be able to view that. It was about just after 12 o'clock. Glock Guy 56. Sup, guys? Should I stick with Javonte Williams over Eli Mitchell? Also crazy to consider Huntley over Mahomes. Yes. Yes. Crazy. Javonte Williams over Eli Mitchell is the play for me as well.
Javonte over Eli. Yeah, sure. After coming off an injury.
Tyler Lowe, Foster Moreau, Jorla. We've had this question 3 times now. Foster
I know. Go Foster Moreau. Now I feel bad. Now I should just
You
go
can't
with
do that.
Everett.
You can't do that.
Or Tyler.
No, you can't do that.
I'm hedging. The other guys start Moreau, but Tyler Lowe specifically, go Everett.
Just so you can say you were right.
Yeah, exactly. I helped someone.
Yeah, Brandon said, it's an 18 team. People just made dumb drops. You are the recipient of that. Tyler Lowe also says Edmonds, Agumbawale, Eli Mitchell, Duke Johnson, or Jarrett Patterson. Pick 2. That's exactly
Eli and Edmonds.
Tyler Lowe, OBJ, Devontae Parker. I would play OBJ. Dallas
OBJ.
D or Tampa D. I would play Tampa. Dribble Gods, Sony Michel or Jamar Chase. I would play Jamar Chase.
Ooh, is that a PPR, half PPR?
Doesn't matter.
Standard league. You still go.
Yeah.
You still go
War.
Jamar Chase.
Who do
All
I
right.
flex into PPR? Swift, Agumbawale, Burkhead, Lazard, AJ Green. Thanks, boys. You have to go Swift.
I think you got to go Swift.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean we're kind of fading Swift in some spots, but I think so. Reports are saying that he's looking good. There's not sure why they're playing him, but if he's fully healthy, fully back healthy, he should see like 10 to 12 targets.
Shout out to our guys in the Discord. I see some questions coming through. If any mods are still in the chat, just feel free to send them the link so they can come in, ask some questions, and we can get our attention here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, get them in. Griff, easy. Go on and stop by our Discord real quick.
Amon Ra, St. Brown, or
send them in.
Marquez, Valdez, Scantling, Amon Ra.
Perfect. I love it. Here we go. We're starting to catch up, guys. Thank you for with us. Hit that like button. We're at 23 likes. Let's get up to 30 real quick. Can we share the snap around to your friends? Let's get up to 2,000 subs on YouTube. We're almost there. Last year at this time, we got to 1,000. Let's get up to 2K. Help us get there. We appreciate everyone coming through. But
Thundarius
let's
said
get in there.
he filled out the Apple Podcast review. He has proof, but maybe it didn't post. I went through this morning, I refreshed, and I pulled every single one that had the Snap 21 hashtag. So maybe it wasn't posted. I don't know, dude. I'm sorry, but hey, you did win the Dalvin Cook jersey, so maybe that's just a little bit of karma in the right direction. Gary, sorry I was away for a bit. Congrats, Griffin and Thundarius. Who did you pick between Saquon, Dare, and Jarrett Patterson? We did go Saquon, Gary.
Saquon.
David,
Yeah.
Deonta Foreman, Michael Carter, or Boston Scott. Not liking Carter against Tampa. I don't blame you either. Like we said earlier, I think the workload for Michael Carter is pretty solid. What he does with it, the efficiency, might be in question. Deonta Foreman is a nice matchup, but that game is going to be wet and gross. So might lend itself to a run-heavy game. The Miami defense is solid, though. So I honestly think I'm just going to go Michael Carter. Hope for some garbage time.
Yeah. What's your opinion on Boston Scott kind of by himself in that backfield?
I don't know.
Or is it going to be a
Michael Carter is a solid.
Right. I don't mind.
Player. Yeah.
He is.
Let's not forget that.
Who won your bet, by the way, between Michael Carter and
It's still going.
Brandon Cooks?
They were tied after like week
for sure.
14 or 13. They were tied, like literally 0.1 points apart. And then Michael Carter went to the IR, but then Brandon Cooks missed a week, and so I think Michael Carter's probably slightly behind. But I think with a big day today, it could flip that. So it's
all right. Let's go. Let's go, Michael Carter.
Claire, who do I drop to play Sony? Had Mike Williams on IR. Opponent has Lamar with Burrow. Lance, Huntley, Packers for next week. Parker, Mooney, Williams. Have Dak, Dolphins, AJ Brown.
Claire plays in a Week 18 championship.
I hate that. Opponent with Lamar playing Burrow.
So,
I think you just probably drop Huntley. Or drop the Dolphins. If you're gonna roll Packers for next week against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, if you're not playing the Dolphins this week, you might as well drop them.
The way I see it, the Packers are going to be playing next week. They're going to be playing all of their starters. They play the Detroit Lions. It should be a game that they can easily win. But like, look, the Bucks are going to win this week. The Rams are going to win this week. Dallas has a really tough matchup against the Cardinals, but I mean, both of those teams are really, really fighting for position. And so if the Packers win, they're still a game ahead of the Rams and the Bucks. So they're going to have to win next week in order to keep that position, that bye week. You want that bye week. So I expect them to be full go in week 18. So that's why I said Packers D against Detroit could be really solid.
Who does Miami play next week?
Drop the
Patriots.
Dolphins.
Yeah, drop Miami.
Unless you're playing them this week.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Felix, who should I start in my flex? Full PPR, Javonte Williams or Jarrett Patterson? I would go Javonte.
I would flex Javonte as well.
Dave says, thanks for your help this whole season. I'll send some Wendy's your way. Yeah. Make that
You're
make that a
welcome,
number
Dave.
6, please, with a large root beer. Love that. Logan Birch, Burkhead.
Oh, so Claire is playing
Yes,
the Dolphins this
that
week.
makes sense.
That's her plan.
I would just drop Tyler
So
Huntley.
then, drop Tyler
Got Trey
Huntley.
Lance. What if Lamar's back? Then Tyler Huntley is just useless. Just drop Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, and then if they do play Huntley against you, that's fine. If they decide to not play Burrow,
we'll worry
and play
about next
Huntley,
week.
you're all right with
but I
that,
think
Claire.
if you want to look ahead,
Yeah.
Huntley's the drop this week. No one's playing him this week. Logan, Burkhead,
Yeah.
Pollard, Dario Agumbawale, and a half PPR. Wow. So Pollard's going to be worked in. There's no way that Zeke can carry the load by himself. Arizona's a solid defense. Do you look to go Burkhead and hope that he just gets into the end zone? Same with Dario Agumbawale, or do you just say Pollard's the best player? I'm going to play him no matter what. I would go
That's
Pollard.
probably where I go. I'd go Pollard, Logan. That's a tough one. You are relying on efficiency with Pollard, maybe a kickoff return. If you have kickoff return yards, I mean, Pollard is a great play. I just don't believe in Agumbawale or Burkhead. I could see them getting in the end zone this week. It seems high risk to me. It feels like Logan, I'm sure you're struggling with this. It feels like the decision you make is going to be the wrong one. Because you're relying on efficiency with Pollard, but I think that's where I go.
Griff, do you have a thought on Zach Wilson under 19.5 completions or under 199 passing? I think that's easy. Like you take the under.
Take the under?
No, I think on the passing.
On both?
Passing yards. I could see a
Passing
lot of
yards,
checkdowns to
under.
Carter.
Okay. Yep. Even though he does, it's Mike White's the better check downer to Carter.
Jacob Cooks or Renfro in a standard league. I'd probably go Renfro.
Ooh, yeah, bounce back.
April,
for
start
Renfro.
Trey Lance or Taysom Hill for quarterback. We've had this one, I also think, 3 times, and we've gone Trey Lance in all of them. Trey Lance, please.
Trey Lance.
Thank you. Sean Tams, good luck to everyone still in the playoffs.
Okay.
Good luck to you, my man, if you are still playing as well.
Yeah, good luck, Sean.
Dave G. Look, we need the Wendy's before we can answer this one. Real quick, Daryl Williams or Michael Carter? I need at least some coupons. You know what I'm saying? What? Michael Carter.
I think I'm willing to go.
Yep.
You want Michael Carter?
I am.
Yeah. I think it's a coin flip for me. I think I'm willing to go Daryl Williams.
Just because you like the game better?
Sorry. Yeah, a Kansas City running back is better than a Jets running back versus Tampa. I know Gore is going to be involved. Derek Gore is going to be involved, but I still they like to use Daryl Williams in the red zone, end zone. So I think I just go Daryl. I'm
going Michael Carter. He's going to get lots of work. He's not going to be splitting the backfield with anybody. He's going to get the work.
Yeah.
Celine, need help with my lineup for the Super Bowl. I need 2 wide receivers and a flex. OBJ, Ayuk, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper. And then we've got Rashad Penny, Jeff Wilson, and Devontae Parker in there as well.
Okay, Celine, what stands out? You got to start Rashad
Agreed.
Penny and Amari Cooper.
DJ Moore.
So your flex is Rashad. So you need 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, that's the way I view it.
Right?
I'm not going to play Jeff Wilson with Eli Mitchell back. So it's going to be between DJ Moore, Ayuk, and OBJ. And I think it's between DJ Moore and OBJ. However you feel between those 2 players is where I would go.
Yeah, they both are going to be. OBJ has better chances of a touchdown. DJ Moore has a better chance at more receptions, breakaway, breaking tackle kind of play. Maybe DJ Moore.
Do you know that Odell Beckham Jr. had 7 touchdowns as a Brown in about 2 seasons, and he has 4 already with the Rams? Yeah. Just goes to show you the difference between Stafford and Baker. It's wild.
April, I am going A.J. Dillon over KJ Osborne for the flex. I don't have any confidence in Osborne now with a backup quarterback. So go with the volume in the ice-cold game and go with AJ Dillon. No one like, I think I heard this from the footballers. No one wants to tackle
No.
a frozen Yeti, and that's what
Just look at his
AJ
legs,
Dillon's
man.
going to
That's
be.
all you need to do. Yeah. Jacob, Jared Patterson, Braxton Berrios, Van Jefferson, Zay Jones, PPR flex need to go big. I think you go Van Jefferson.
If you got to go big, go Van.
Van Jefferson, very, very nice pass. Very nice passing script for the Rams today, going up against the depleted Baltimore Ravens. Do I go Marquise Brown, Saquon, or Darnell Mooney at the flex? I'm so stuck, Brian. That's a really, really tough one. It's a full PPR, by the way.
Full PPR.
Marquise Brown is less appealing. He started the season as, I believe, as like the wide receiver 5 for the first 7 or 8 weeks. He was on fire. And just with Lamar being in and out of the lineup, him being a little bit banged up, he hasn't really done anything for you lately. So I'm not going to start Marquise Brown this week against the Rams. I'm going to shut him down. It's really between Saquon and Mooney at the flex for you, and I'm probably just going to stick with Saquon.
It doesn't feel good starting Saquon. He's let you down every single week. Brian, are you favored to win or lose? Like, do you have these other big players like
A Jonathan Taylor.
I don't know. Do you have a Jonathan Taylor, a Cooper Kupp on your team? I think that makes a difference as to where you go. If you really rely on it and you need the upside, I mean, I don't mind going your wide receivers. I have a good feeling about Saquon this week, but nothing proves to me that he doesn't look himself. The Giants are terrible. But if you need a floor play, I think he gets between I would say 15 to 17 opportunities this week, and hopefully he breaks a big one. That's kind of what we're hoping for it.
Yeah, I'm with it.
We missed NBA Live 2K9. Dillon or Stevenson?
Where was that
Mack?
one? Oh, I see it right there. Dillon or Stevenson? I play Dillon.
I would go Dillon as well. I don't love Stevenson with Harris in the backfield as well, and Stevenson's coming off an injury, so not sure how they're going to use both players.
Shout out to NBA Live, to Shamar, and to Roachita for subscribing. Appreciate you guys. Get to every single question. We are pretty much at the bottom of the chat. We are all pretty much all caught up.
Yeah. So if you ask something right now, we're gonna get to it within a minute. You're about a minute behind the lag
Shout out
time.
to Roachita for the subscription. Your question: Gronk or Kittle? Gronk or Kittle? Who do you like this week, Lando?
Oh man, so that's. I mean, you feels like you have to play Kittle because what he's done, but they're back to back in my rankings. I think I just go with the guy with the quarterback that he's been with all season long. I think I go with Gronk.
Okay,
straight up.
I'm gonna be that guy and go Kittle.
Yeah, I mean Kittle is one ahead of Gronk in my rankings.
and I think they both have the potential for big games. Both have good matchups. I mean, the Houston Texans, the New York Jets, they're both fantastic matchups. Brady to Gronk is more proven, and so if you need safety, I think this is where context really does matter. If you need safety, if you need a guaranteed workload, I think Gronk is your guy. If you're okay rolling out the upside play, maybe you're a little bit of a dog, George Kittle has won people weeks. When we talked about tight end of the year on our regular fantasy awards show, George Kittle missed a bunch of time. We couldn't give him the award, but we did preface by saying George Kittle might win people championships. And I think if you've been riding him, you can't afford to sit him down. So I'm going to go Kittle.
Sounds good.
Shamar,
don't mind it.
Subscriber, appreciate it. Pick 3: Cooks, AB, Amari Cooper, and Amon-Ra St. Brown in a full PPR.
So, to me, again, Amari Cooper is an auto start this week. He came through last week. It should be a bit of a shootout. I know he has a tendency to disappear sometimes and let you down, but I still like Amari this week. So I'm going to go with Amari.
Amon-Ra and Antonio Brown. Is that where you go?
Yeah, I think that's where I go as well. Sit down, Brandon Cooks. After coming off of COVID, we know that people seem to struggle a week back off COVID. We don't know what kind of symptoms that Brandon Cooks had. He had a great week 2 weeks ago and probably got people into the semifinals, but then was off a week. So, but yeah, I'm good with the targets that Antonio and Amon-Ra.
I think Antonio Brown has potential for a really, really big game. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to sit down Cooks. Brian, thanks, fellas. I'm going to stick with Saquon. Good luck, my man. That's what I would do, and we'll live or die by that. Sean Thames, Green Bay or New Orleans D? Oh, boy.
So obviously the Green Bay D, we've gotten a lot of questions on our YouTube about them this week with Kirk Cousins out. They seem to be in a locked and loaded spot. However, we will likely see Dalvin Cook get a heavy workload. And a run-heavy game does not bode super well for the opposing defense. You want interceptions, turnovers, fumbles, everything. And in a cold game, I don't know if Green Bay is going to – I mean, they do obviously have a chance to produce turnovers, but it feels like to me that the New Orleans defense has a better chance against Sam Darnold. Do you like my narrative around there? Or what are your thoughts,
I mean,
Mac?
You know the Green Bay defense is going to show up. You know that they are going to be ball hawking every time Sean Mannion puts the ball in the air. How often that happens, I don't know. I do know the Green Bay Packers are very susceptible to the run. They've been burned by Dalvin Cook and other, solid running backs the whole season. And so I'm tempted to just stick with Green Bay because I do think that the Vikings will have to throw at some point, and that will lead to turnovers.
Right.
I think the Green Bay Packers could potentially keep this to a very low point total for the Vikings. I don't know what the Panthers are going to be able to do. I really don't. And it's somewhat of a – we've seen Sam Darnold look really good, be very mobile. We've also seen him just perish. So I'm probably just going to go with the Packers in a cold game against a first career start, Sean Mannion.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. It's very close to me. Obviously, the Packers skyrocketed up rankings after the Kirk Cousins news. So.
We've got Pierre, Flex, Sony Michel, or Elijah Mitchell. Oh, yes, Mark Hill with the
Mark
super
Hill.
Chat. Appreciate you, Mark. Hey.
Always coming through, Mark Hill. Thank you
Evans
so much
or
for the
Devontae
super
Parker
chats.
at wide receiver 1. Damn.
I'm going Mike Evans, coming back off of injury. I think he has a good chance as a touchdown versus the Jets. Devontae Parker let a ton of people down last week. If you were listening to us, we were absolutely fading Devontae Parker with Waddle coming back, and we saw exactly that the wide receiver 1 in Miami is Jalen Waddle, and he will be for the foreseeable future. So I'm willing to fade Devontae Parker again and go with Mike Evans.
The other reason I'm willing to fade Devontae Parker for a limited Mike Evans is that Miami-Tennessee game. We're going to see a very wet game, a mixture of snow and rain. And so there are weather concerns here as well. I'm going to just go Evans.
Sounds good, Mark. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
You've been
it.
with us all season long, and you've supported us throughout the year. Mark, good luck in your championship finals, and
yes, sir.
Stick with us.
Lots
through the
of
offseason.
Dynasty content coming in the off season. We'll still release probably a podcast. We'll take a little bit of some time off, but we will ramp it back up with some Dynasty content as well. So if you guys want to get right for your Dynasty leagues, for your upcoming drafts, stick with the Snap. We got you. Pierre, Flex, Sony Michel or Elijah Mitchell. Running backs are JT and Ronald Jones. Fantastic duo. I think you just go Sony Michel. Beautiful.
Correct. Absolutely. With
Brian said he's
confidence,
playing against a
Pierre.
monster team with Kupp, Kelsey, Waddle, Swift, and Stafford. Missing Waller, and I'm definitely not the favorite this week. I think you go Kittle then.
Okay.
Yep.
Then go Kittle for the
JP,
upside.
should I start Devontae
Brian.
Smith or Christian Kirk? Full PPR. Should I also start MVS off waivers or Cole Beasley?
So I would just stick with Christian Kirk in a hopeful shootout game. He seems to be the number 1 wide receiver for Kyler. And then if you need to flex another, I'm good with Devonta Smith rather than picking up MVS.
I agree with that. Zach Foster, morning guys. Are we rolling with Stafford or throwing Trey Lance out there today? 4-point passing touchdowns. You are sticking with Stafford.
Yeah, I'm good with sticking with Stafford. Now, if it's a 6-point rushing touchdown league too, which it likely is, that does make it closer. Zach, but I'm just good with sticking with Stafford. Like, look what Baltimore gave up to
Agreed.
Joe Burrow last week. Go with Stafford in a
JP
good,
also
good
says
matchup.
for the finals, he's got defense questions, has the Saints, but the Bears, Eagles, 49ers are also available. Yeah, it's between Saints and Bears for me, and I'm okay with the Saints. Yep, beautiful.
Yep. Roach.
Sorry, I'm just...
Rochita. Pick 3, Zeke, Montgomery, Ronald Jones, Cordell Patterson, Michael Carter, Elijah Mitchell. Zeke, Montgomery, and Ronald Jones with me. Rochita, YT.
Sorry, I was just reading a text there. Okay, Zeke is in, Cordero Patterson is in, and you probably just have to play Montgomery. So stick with your studs here. Sit down, Cordero.
No. Zeke, Montgomery, Ronald Jones, no? Okay, sorry.
No.
Patterson
sorry, I meant Zeke is in, Rojo is in, Montgomery. You sit down Patterson, and then Carter and Mitchell get the sit too.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice little core though.
Correct.
Zach also Boston Scott or Gabriel Davis in a PPR. Howard and Sanders inactive. Thanks for the advice all season. You are welcome, Zach. I would go with Boston Scott over Gabriel Davis.
Yeah. I'm good with that. Go with the volume, the rushing. The Philadelphia Eagles like to rush the football a ton, and Boston Scott's going to get most of that work. The Washington defense seems to be really bad lately. I could see them bouncing back this week, but it's really hard to stop the Eagles right now. So go with Boston. Yeah.
Aiden. Oh, we got Mark Hill coming in with another super chat. Eli Mitchell or
another
Jared
one, Mark,
for the championship. Go with Mitchell, Mark. Go with Mitchell.
I'm comfortable with Mitchell as well. I know it's a big question mark with the injury, but I haven't seen Jared Patterson, and the Eagles' defense is very good. I could see him getting shut down pretty easily. I could see a backup that we don't even know his name come in through the Washington football team and get some workload. So you go with Eli Mitchell. He was a superstar throughout the entire season until he got banged up. If he's active, they're going to rely on him. He's the better running back to Jeff Wilson. So play Eli Mitchell with confidence, I think.
And it's funny, like Landon says that there might be somebody come in that we just like don't know. Like, look what the Lions rolled out a couple weeks ago when we were like, all right, it's between, Jamar Jefferson and Godwin Igwebuike. And it's like, nope, Craig Reynolds, guys. It's Craig Reynolds. No one's heard of Craig Reynolds.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah, everyone's jumping to who they think the backup is, but we don't know what the football team's going to do. Jonathan Williams, Wendell Smallwood, just so you know, those are the names behind Jared Patterson.
Okay. Aiden Crano, struggling for the tight end this week. Pick one in a full PPR, Muth, Everett, and Uzama. Oh, man.
I think I'm fine with the Muth then. I don't know. That's tough. Gerald Everett versus Detroit. I know we've been fading him so far this week, but I'm good with Everett there. He's seen lots of targets lately. Gerald Everett in a potentially wet game.
I
don't blame you for just not even answering that
I'm
one.
just gonna let you do it. I actually need you to roll through some of these. I forgot to do my pick'em, and I gotta get that in. So you're gonna have to roll through some of these.
Oh, so did I.
I have two pick'ems I have to do.
We'll do both.
I have to
We'll do both all at
so
once.
You got this for another 5 minutes.
Okay, Zach Foster, also have Sony Michel, AJ Dillon, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kirk starting currently. I'm going Sony over Boston Scott.
I would too.
Zach, absolutely, with confidence. Moyne, 1, 2, 3, start 2, Swift, Mitchell, Penny, Singletary, Pittman. Penny is an auto start for me out of that list. The other one, I think you could go Mitchell over Singletary in a full PPR league. Yeah, I think I like Mitchell and Penny. What do you think about Mitchell and Penny? Or Mitchell and Singletary, Mac?
Yep.
You go Penny and then Mitchell and then Swift, Singletary? Okay. Andrew. Michael Carter or Hollywood in the flex. Andrew, are you favored to win, lose? Is it a full PPR, half PPR? What are you going to do? The volume play is going to be Michael Carter, even against a tough matchup against Tampa Bay. Hollywood needs to be very efficient with his work, and you're relying on Tyler Huntley again. There's more film on Huntley. I could see him running more. So the floor play is Michael Carter. If you don't watch the game, it's my favorite recommendation. If you play Hollywood Brown, don't watch that Baltimore game and just hope for one big play from Hollywood Brown. So I'm going Carter, but if you need the upside play, you
real
can
quick,
go
Lando,
Hollywood
Browns
Brown.
or Steelers?
Ari. Browns.
The Steelers just feel like a mess.
Yeah, I could see them winning that matchup. I got to do this as well right now. Okay,
I'll jump in.
so
Where are you right now? Mercado. Let's do this, friends. What do you say? Play 2 in a full PPR. Javonte Williams, Eli Mitchell, Ramondre Stevenson, Dare Ogunbowale. Thank you and good luck. Good luck to you as well. We're going to go Javonte Williams and Eli Mitchell. Those are the two names that you're going to roll with today.
Aiden actually is right above. I didn't get to Aiden or Ari. Sorry, I'm behind. I put you
RJ, so
ahead.
quick questions. Higgins or Justin Jefferson? You probably just go Higgins this week, to be honest with you. There's just some concerns with the Green Bay game. Typically, I would say yes, Justin Jefferson, no doubt. But T. Higgins is on fire. They have a good matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Vikings are with a backup quarterback this week in a very cold and frigid Lambeau Field in prime time. I'm just going to go with Higgins.
Hey, there we go. Aiden, flex 1, Cole Beasley, Jared Patterson, Gabe Davis, Van Jefferson, full PPR. I think I kind of lean Beasley there in a full PPR, Mac.
Yeah. No, I go Van Jefferson.
Gross. Go Van. All right, I'm going Beasley. He's going Van. You got to make that decision, Aiden. Good luck, my friend. Bars in the tuck. Full PPR, Gerald Everett or Foster, the Australian.
There it is. That's the fourth one. And this is your chance to hedge again, Lando, but we're not. We're going to go all in. Chips to the middle on Foster Moreau.
Foster Moreau. Oh, I hate that. I hate there's so many.
Yeah, we've had this question 4 times today, folks, and we have not strayed once. Lando wanted to pivot, wanted to get that hedge in. We don't do that, though. We don't roll like that.
Yeah.
No.
We don't do that. Bars in the tuck, it's the weather concerns. If things change, I'm fine going Everett, but you have a dome game for Foster Moreau and possibly Derek Carr coming from behind against Indianapolis. It's just a narrative script. If you don't think that's going to happen, if you think the weather's going to be fine in Seattle, I'm fine with Gerald Everett. He's a more proven asset at the tight end position, but Moreau's been seeing more targets. That's kind of that's my reasoning. But at the end of the day,
the weather will not be okay in Seattle. I'm just going to say that now.
There you go. There we go.
Oh boy. All right.
All right.
Let's see. Zach Foster, appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. Mark Hill, happy New Year to you as well. Rochita, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks. DJ Moore and Amari Cooper is where I'll go. Brian Keelman.
Yep. Pick one is just Amari Cooper.
Brian Keelman, do I start Singletary over Saquon? I would not.
I don't blame you if you do. My rankings, I don't even know what my rankings say right now. They're back to back, honestly.
Said pick 3 Cooks, AB, Amari, and Amon-Ra. I understand. We talked about this earlier. The answer was AB, Amari, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sit down. Brandon Cooks, tough matchup coming back from COVID. We've seen guys struggle with the COVID, especially the cardiovascular component. Like, look at Tyreek Hill. When he came back from COVID, he was held for 2 receptions for, I think it was like 18 yards. It's a respiratory illness. People, we don't know what people are going to be like coming back. So I factor all those things in. Tough matchup. Coming back from COVID, I'm not going to play Brandon Cooks. Cedric, pick 2, Lamb, Antonio Brown, AJ Brown. It's going to be Lamb and AJ Brown for me. Sucks to sit down Antonio Brown, but he's coming back off of injury. we have to take that into slight concern. Really good matchup, but I like Lamb and A.J. Brown better. Full PPR, Josh Jacobs, Sony Michel. Then we got Michael Pittman or Amari Cooper. I'm going to play Josh Jacobs, and I'm going to play Amari Cooper.
Sounds good. Sleek, need to Eli Mitchell, Sony Michel, McLaurin, or Daryl Williams. I'm going Sony Michel and Eli Mitchell.
For those of you still in the stream, go ahead and give a like if you haven't already. Really helps out the channel. Appreciate that. We are 12 minutes until kickoff. I got to get this second pick'em done. Oh, boy. Lando, you're going to have to hold down the fort here for 2 more minutes.
Yep, all good. Yeah, I got you. Marvin is asking Damian Harris, Daryl Williams, or Saquon Barkley. Full PPR, I'm just going to go with Damian Harris there, Marvin. He's been super reliable, good touchdown upside. Saquon's been ultra disappointing. We've been recommending some Saquon today, but not in that, not in your scenario. So I'm good with Damian Harris. Travis, RB1, RB2, flex, start 1 RB. So RB1, Jacobs. RB2, he's got Penny. Flex James Conner. I have Saquon, Michael Carter, Edmonds, Tristan Kirk, and Ayuk on the bench. Who should I change? So if I'm not too, so I think that's pretty good. James Conner over Saquon is interesting. James Conner coming back from injury. If he's active today, I do like James Conner. He was so good. He's been so good for you. It should be a shootout game. If he's back to 100% healthy, I like your starts, Travis. So there's no reason for you to go with Saquon over Carter based on what he's done so far. Christian Kirk is purely an upside play because of it's a shootout game. So I like your starts, Travis. So good luck this week, and let's get it. Roach TV, I appreciate you guys, but I don't think Cardell Patterson will have a good game. Zeke scares me. I think you need to temper expectations for Patterson this week. Zeke should be in a high-scoring game, touchdown upside. He could be relied on. If your gut says Patterson, at the end of the day, guys, if you're watching this and your gut, like if we saw Jamar, if his gut says Brandon Cooks, heck, man, you got to go Brandon Cooks. Yeah, you can listen to us all you want. We give you a narrative of what you think may or may not happen, but at the end of the day, you got to go with what your gut says in championship week. I don't want you coming back to us with I can't believe you.
This is your team. This is your team. We don't get everything right.
This is your team.
Yeah,
we'll give you the narrative. We can get the narrative completely opposite wrong, like when the Detroit Lions beat the Cardinals. Right? You can't predict that kind of.
I'll say the last couple weeks for Cordero Patterson, haven't seen the same workload, haven't seen the same efficiency. There's some questions going on with his health. What's going on with him? Then you've got the game script. Atlanta is on the road at Buffalo. Buffalo's a tough defensive matchup. There's also weather in this game. Snow is falling. Likely going to be a snow on the field pre-game. We're probably going to see some flurries throughout the game, and wind is going to pick up. It's going to be ugly. If you, with all of those factors put in the equation, if you want to still start Cordero Patterson, that's on you. I know Zeke's going to play in a very competitive game in a dome. I know that there are things that can be controlled. And so I'm going to go with Zeke. There's just less variables. That's my process. That's where I go through it. At the end of the day, if it's wrong, I still like my process. So that's where I go with Cordero versus Zeke.
Sounds good. I do want to shout out to Nick Forbes coming in off of Twitter. He's going, why Mike Evans over Marquise Brown? Coming off of injury, I recommended Mike Evans on Twitter. He likes Marquise Brown. Again, there's variables involved here. Marquise Brown has a backup quarterback, Tyler Huntley, throwing the football. We know he likes to run the ball. It's going to be more efficiency. Where Mike Evans off injury, there's risk of him coming back off injury, but he still has Tom Brady, the GOAT, throwing him the football. He could have multiple touchdowns in this game. They play the Jets. It should be a decent weather game, so that's why I like Mike Evans over Marquise Brown. But at the end of the day, if you have a great feeling about Brown and you think he's going to get a big 60-yard touchdown, he's got that in his range of outcomes.
He does. Against the Rams, I'm not so sure. Marquise Brown burned really, really bright in the beginning of the season. He was wide receiver 5 for a while. But over the second half of the season, he's really fallen. Hasn't really broken double-digit points in quite some time. And when you factor in Tyler Huntley, the Rams, we've got potential for some weather today in Baltimore. Yeah, spotty showers, winds 15 miles an hour. No real major impacts, but weather could be a factor as well. I'm just going to go with Mike Evans. Even in a limited fashion, I'll go with him. The touchdown upside for Mike Evans still exists.
Perfect. Awesome. There is a narrative where Mike Evans doesn't play that much. He could be limited. That we don't know what's going to happen. And hey, for all we know, it's a competitive game versus the Jets. Mike Evans will have to rely on efficiency, but again, it's still Mike Evans. If he's back fully healthy, if he's active for a reason, heck, he could get 10
Shout out to
targets for all we know.
Ethan and It's Just TV for the subscriptions. Appreciate you guys. Stopping by. Gassan said, Lions fan here, but love Rodgers. Packers are going to win it all. I agree. I agree, my man. Let's go.
Ooh, you're trying to suck up here? Look at Mac's jersey.
We've got, Rocco.
Aaron Jones or Rojo. So go efficiency over volume with Aaron Jones in a cold game versus the Vikings. Vikings are tough or a very easy defense. I think Rojo will get more opportunities, but Mac likes the touchdown upside of Aaron Jones. He can take anything to the house. We know that, but it's close. You should probably start.
If you can flex
Rojo
him
as well.
in there as well, I probably would have a strong consideration on him.
Yeah.
Don says, thanks for a great season. You're welcome. Appreciate you being here with us the whole way. Nick Forbes, do you think Mike Evans might not get as much play with the Bucs in the playoffs, not play as many starters? Yeah, it's certainly a possibility. I still like him over Marquise Brown, though. Yep.
Ari, I don't blame you starting to scared to say Justin Jefferson. He's a great player. He's one of the best wide receivers in the league. So if you want to go Jefferson over Higgins, I completely understand that. But at the end of the day, you have a backup quarterback throwing him the football. We don't know how accurate. We don't know the targets he's going to get. Likely the Green Bay Packers are going to blanket cover Jefferson and not let him get the football. So hey, we're force him to throw the football and then just sit on Jefferson.
Guys, and this is honestly, this is our process. This is how we go through things. We factor in who's throwing the football, what the weather game looks like, what the game plan will be for the defense. I can't say that Kansas City can give that much pressure to T. Higgins because of Jamar Chase, because of Tyler Boyd, because of Joe Mixon. They just don't have the weapons defensively to combat the offense. T. Higgins, after all, the last couple weeks have been because they've game planned for Jamar Chase. No one's been game planning for T. Higgins. Everyone's been trying to stop Jamar Chase from taking the top off the defense. That threat still exists. T. Higgins is going to be solid. Yep. And that's why I think there's just less against T. Higgins this week. There's less at risk. Jamar Jefferson is the better wide receiver. I just don't think it lines up this week with Sean Mannion, with a cold weather primetime game in Lambeau. I'm just gonna pivot to a good option. It's not like T. Higgins is a better option. He's just a better option this week. Yeah.
Guys, we're going to get to every single question. 5 minutes till kickoff. Toss a like on this video if you're here last minute. We're still here with you guys. Brandon Cooks, Josh Jacobs, or Mike Evans at the flex. I am going Josh Jacobs. You get the volume. You get a good game script. You don't get a narrative that Nick was talking about with the Bucs don't need him. I like Josh Jacobs for the floor and ceiling play. Ben, YouTuber, Schultz, Goddard, or Knox, full PPR. I like Schultz this week.
I would go Schultz, Goddard, Knox, literally in that order in a full PPR. I just think that Dallas, Arizona game could be just fireworks, lots of points.
Yeah, great. Also, pick 2, AB, Amon-Ra, Zeke, Kamara. Wow.
Kamara and Zeke.
Zeke.
Easy.
Yeah.
Trey S. Let's get the ship, boys. Full PPR flex 1. Pittman, Chase Edmonds, or Elijah Mitchell. Thanks. I'd probably order them Chase Edmonds, Michael Pittman, Elijah Mitchell. I like Chase Edmonds this week.
Even with James Conner back?
Yeah.
That's likely a high scoring game. Where Eli Mitchell has the risk of coming back off injury. Could be Jeff Wilson. He could be limited. It's a positive plus game script, but we could see Trey Lance kind of vulture some touchdowns from Eli Mitchell. And And Pittman's been so good throughout the season. He's been bad lately, so I don't mind that order. I might have went the complete opposite way, but I'm not gonna
Yep.
put it on the line right now with
Agreed.
5 minutes left till kickoff. So, Brian, one more. Sorry, full PPR. Need to decide between Singletary, Marquise Brown, and the flex.
I am as well. I was going to say that if you needed as many points as possible, I mean, there's a chance that Marquise Brown and Tyler Huntley don't connect for much today. So I think Singletary against Atlanta. Atlanta really, really poor defense. They're playing in Buffalo. It's going to be a weather game that could just be run heavy. So Singletary's been coming on. I do like him.
Yeah, I like it. Good luck, everyone. Great questions this week. Welcome to the new subscribers, and thanks for coming by. Last question. I like Javonte Williams in that.
I do as well.
You, sir, over Burkhead,
Yep,
Patterson,
absolutely.
and Ramondre.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for a great season. We made it once again. Really, really appreciate it. Don't stop, though. Stay subscribed. Keep sending us your questions. We'll be around for Week 18 for those of you that aren't. Sorry, for those of you that are playing in Week 18 championships, the Discord's probably the best way to get a hold of us. We're not going to be going live, but we will have the Discord open, so you can get us there. The link to that is in the episode description. And we'll also be having Dynasty content throughout the off season. We'll probably take a little bit of a break, but once sort of the draft picks up, we'll start doing some rookie profiles. We'll start getting some info out to you and just, keeping the content train rolling. So again, Landon and I and Scott behind the camera, our producer, we thank you so much for a great season, and we look forward to 2022. Good luck this week. Take home your championships, and we will see you soon.
Good luck.